Hi there, wall of chefs. Ian Tyson here, ready to prepare my meal for the secondary phase of auditioning. So what I'm going to make for you tonight is a deconstructed shepherd's pie. So I'm got a mushroom gravy I'm putting on the bottom in a shallow pasta bowl. I'm going to cook a couple of steaks up, cook to a nice medium, a couple of sirloins, and then I'm going to slice that up, put it on top of the gravy. Some grilled corn is going to go on top of that, and then I'll pipe in some of my specialty roasted garlic and white cheddar mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes are a very special connection for me. As I mentioned in my original audition tape, I was someone who grew up with a single father, and we always had to cook. It was one of our chores. My brother would usually cook the meat because he was an older brother. My younger sister, frozen vegetables, canned vegetables, something like that. And a lot of the time, we're talking late 70s, early 80s, the little note that was waiting for us at home, Ian, you're in charge of mashed potatoes. And that's what I would have to do. It was always these Carnation or Sheriff instant mashed potatoes. But I loved that job, and it was my job, and it was a way that my brother and my sister and I came together, created a meal, and were able to say to our father, we made this for you because he was busy working. And it just became something that we did together. So I've got, in my mashed potatoes now, the game has obviously come a long way since those instant mashed potatoes that just had water and milk and butter and a little salt in them. Though I cherish that job, they're much better now. Now I've got some cubed russets, washed and cubed, cooking them directly in milk. That's the way I do this now. I cook them right in milk. We've got the sirloins over there. These are going to cook up real nice. I cut those off of a roast. That's the way I tend to do my steaks. I've got a nice ear of corn. I've got some cremini mushrooms to go in the gravy. Roasted garlic, which I always keep on hand in my kitchen, to go in the mashed potatoes. Some white cheddar to go in there. And we've got fresh herbs. I've got fresh rosemary, thyme, and chives, and of course some beef stock to go along to make the gravy. So this is all going to come together pretty quick. I'm going to get the roux going for the gravy right now. The potatoes are cooking up. The water's ready for the corn. Stick with me. Okay, so I have my roux going for the gravy. I've got some butter in there, a little bit of roasted garlic olive oil, and that heat is going, and I'm just going to put a little bit of flour. Then I'm going to go ahead and add first a little bit of that beef stock. We'll get that thickening, then we'll add more and keep things rolling. Okay, so the gravy's thickening up nicely. We've added more beef stock. I've got some fresh thyme and fresh rosemary, kosher salt, fresh ground black pepper in there. It's thickening up nicely. We're going to put the steak on soon and let it rest as these mashed potatoes get nice and soft and get ready for that delicious roasted garlic and white cheddar. I'm just going to go ahead and add these quartered cremini mushrooms into that gravy. Get them cooked really nice down. That's going to just make this nice base for this reimagined, taking a winter staple and turning it into a summer dish with some grilling of this shepherd's pie. It's going to be awesome. These are just bubbling away and absorbing all of that creaminess from the milk. They're going to be ready to whip up in just a second. I'm super excited about it. I've adapted this recipe, adding roasted garlic, getting into the cheese, keeping skins on the russets, which I like to do. Honestly, the addition of cooking them in milk is something I've just added in the last year. I'm going to take this, get these potatoes right out of that hot milk mixture. Now absorb so much of that cream, it's just going to be delicious. That creamy flavor, it's been imparted. And I keep this milk obviously to the side to add a little bit to the potatoes as I go. Give it a little taste. I'm going to throw these steaks onto the panini grill. You work with what you've got in a space like this. Don't have a balcony or outdoor space in this apartment, so I'm going to put both of these on. In goes the corn. We are having fun in the kitchen. All right, it's time to get plating. We've got corn buttered and cut right off of that cob, ready to add. We'll start with some gravy. Now we'll take some of this nice medium rare steak. I'm a big fan of blue cheese on steak, and I know this is shepherd's pie, but I'm going to add a little bit anyway. One of my little hacks is I always keep my blue cheese frozen so that when it comes time, I can grate it, and it grates really easy. I'll put some corn on. And now the mashed potatoes, which I'm going to pipe in. Don't have a piping bag, so when in doubt, improvise. A little bit of rosemary on the top, and a little bit of fresh thyme. And there we have deconstructed shepherd's pie. Enjoy.